This is the start of my journey today. Creighton Road, Eltham, in a suburb of London, birthplace of the fifth of 7 sons of a stonemason. Times were hard, there wasn't any work, so Dad took himself to join his 2 brothers in America. When the rest of the family followed, they wore 2 sets of clothes to save on baggage costs. They arrived at the US Immigration Center at Ellis Island, New York, and the 5th son's rags to riches life began to unfold. I'll pick up the story over there. The road to Hollywood took our man a little longer than a quick hop in a jumbo jet. But today, the boy from Eltham is the world's greatest living comedy legend. In fact, he's in the Guinness Book of Records as the most decorated entertainer in the business. This evening, he's expected with his wife here at the studios of CBS for what they think is a chat show. Well, there's certainly going to be quite a lot of chat. Good evening, Bob. Good evening, Dolores. This may be a slightly different show from the one you were expecting because I have flown from England to say tonight, Bob and Dolores hope this is your life.
You're not going to tell you all about World War II?
We're going to tell you all about it because we have a lot to tell you. And as you've been married for more than 60 years, obviously the 2 stories go together.
Right.
So if you'd like to make another entrance.
Thanks for the memory of sentimental verse, nothing in my purse, and chuckles when the preacher says, for better or for worse, how lovely it was. Thanks for the memory of Schubert's serenade, little things of jade, and traffic jams and anagrams and bills we never paid. How lovely it was.
Bob, over the years, you've traveled more than 10 million air miles to entertain countless millions like this.
I am from Eltham, Kent County, and I left there when I was 2 because I knew there wasn't much chance of me being king.
Now, the Concorde is amazing. Unbelievable as it seems, by the time your cab gets you from the airport to your hotel in London, your luggage is back in New York.
Say, Bob, am I standing in the right place?
Don't worry, honey. If you're not, they'll move the base.
You know, I think tap dancers should get more money. Stop worrying about other people.
In this world of ordinary people, extraordinary people, I'm glad there is me.
And there was always an audience waiting for you at home, too.
As parents, you've been wonderful, and you're great to work for, too.
Here, representing your 4 children, your daughter and producer, Linda, your son, Kelly, together with your grandson, Andrew. Oh. Well, the girl brought up in the Bronx, daughter of an Italian father and Irish mother, wanted to be a recording star at the age of 5. 78 years later, Dolores Reed Hope finally made it.
I've got you under my skin. I've
deep in the heart of me.
Well, it really did sound quite wonderful. What took you so long to get round to it then, Dolores?
Well, for one thing, Bob has always said he never wanted me overexposed.
Now, Dolores was with you entertaining the troops in Vietnam in 1966, and so was a mutual friend who made this film with you.
Well, how's Old Faithful this morning?
Had a rough night.
Did you say rough or rough?
Down, Fido.
Come on now. You weren't really out playing poker last night with the boys.
Is that so strange?
No, but I think one of the boys is.
The movie was Boy, Did I Get a Wrong Number, and luckily we got the right number for her, Phyllis Diller. Phyllis, that must have been a memorable trip.
Well, Rapid Robert, had an introduction for me to the GIs, you know, the boys. He said that it's too bad I didn't cook for the enemy, because then the war would have been over in 30 minutes. But the most memorable thing about that trip was when Dolores got up and sang, and she tried not to, you know. Bob asked her to sing in White Christmas, and she said, well, I've forgotten the words. And Bob said, I'll help you. And so you fed her the words, each word at a time, and it made a lovely duet. And, she got a standing ovation, and it was the high point of that whole trip.
Bob, what was your reaction to Dolores' standing ovation?
I didn't know who it was. No, I thought it was wonderful.
Phyllis Diller, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, 6 years before Dolores was born in the Bronx, the barefoot boy from Britain sailed to America. That was 1908. You grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. You sold newspapers at the street corner. Later, you worked as a delivery boy, a shoe salesman, and a pool hall hustler. You even took a shot at boxing under the name of Packy East.
Right.
All to save money for dancing lessons. And at 19, you persuaded your girlfriend, Mildred Rosequist, to partner you in a vaudeville act, but her mother had to see the act first. Did she like it, Bob?
No, she didn't like it. And I wanted to take her on the road with me, and she said no. And it's a funny thing. Mildred Rosequist came to see me a few years ago, and she saw the act, you know, and she said to me, you know, if my mother was alive today, I'd slap her right in the mouth.
Now, Dolores, straight out of school, you got a job as a dance band singer in New York. And we found someone who was at your audition.
Yeah, and Dolores, I remember it well, even though it was around 60 years ago.
You haven't seen him since, until tonight, the band's violin player from Pittsburgh, Billy Catazone.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. So glad to see you, Bob. You know Bob?
Roberto.
Great to see you.
So, Billy, the band had a special cue to get Dolores to get up and sing.
Well, when Dolores, we worked in a band together. Dolores never sat on the bandstand. She sat at a little table right beside the band. And we always had to change keys for her to get up on the stand. But once in a while, Dolores would be dreaming a little about some sunset and couldn't make it up in time for the vocal. So I played a prank on her. One night, I went out and bought myself a very sharp whistle. In about 2 measures before we changed the keys, I warned her with a shriek whistle. And she jumped 5 feet, went on the stand, but she made it in time. Dolores, I'm so happy you made that album. Your voice is just as warm and beautiful as it was 60 years ago.
Thank you, Billy, very much. Meanwhile, the young vaudevillian was heading for New York via several routes. Now, Bob, you were first a double act with your pal Lefty Durbin, then in Ohio with your partner George Byrne in a show called Smiling Eyes. You became a single act in Newcastle, Pennsylvania in 1932. How did that happen?
Well, I think that we had a little trouble getting together, so I had to work. So I went out and did a single act.
Now, on Broadway, you knock critics and public in the aisles with your wisecracking performance in the show Roberta. Now, during the run of Roberta, you met Dolores at the Vogue Club on 57th Street.
That's true. Well, I was out one night. George Murphy was in the show with me and Roberta. And we went out one night after the show, and he said, "Would you like to hear a pretty girl sing?" And I said, "Yeah." And he took me down to the Vogue Club, and Dolores stepped out and started singing. And I said, "Hey, wait a minute, what is this?" So I said, well. Well, so I started trying to date her, you know, and she was on the way to Florida, and she wouldn't let me up to the hotel room. So I finally did get up there, and when she was packing to go to Florida, and I reached over, she had a little jewel box there, and I took out this little ring right here and put it on, and it's been there ever since.
Good heavens. Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
Dolores' ring from how long ago?
Stolen property. 1934.
That's lovely. So that's romantic Dolores, and he obviously became a regular at the Vogue Club. But what was your first impression of him?
Well, I didn't know. I thought he was... I knew George and his wife, Julie, very well, and I didn't know Bob, never heard of him.
Wait a minute there.
I actually went home and told my mother that night that I said, I met my husband. She said, what? I said, I met my husband. And she said, who is he? I said, he's the chorus boy in Roberta. I did. That's what I said. But I found out when I went to see the show, the first matinee, I was so embarrassed about how good he was that I didn't want to go backstage to see him. He was great.
Well, you were married in February 1934, and you were back to being a double act when Dolores became a part of your vaudeville routine. So Dolores would sing, and you, Bob, would look starry-eyed and love-struck. Did the audience take to that?
Yeah, they bought that. Yeah. She used to sing, and I used to go up, and I'd lay right down in front of the microphone and just look at her. That got a pretty big laugh.
Nice
then...
work.
You mean you couldn't lie down now and get...
Now, you went on to more Broadway success in the Ziegfeld Follies of 1935 with Fanny Brice, and there with Jimmy Durante in Red Hot and Blue. Right. That's Ethel Merman hoping those two famous noses don't sneeze at the same time. Now, another pal has fond memories of you from those days.
We can thank the good Lord for sending Bob Hope to Earth, because when Bob was born, there was a star in the east. Me.
You've known him for over 50 years, Mr. Television himself, Milton Berle.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, boy.
Very glad. Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Very nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh, thank you.
The first time that I ever... Your name? The first time that I ever met Bob was about, 1928 on the Orpheum Circuit when we were... Right?
All right.
It's a vaudeville circuit. We were on the Orpheum Circuit, and you were wonderful. You said some of the funniest jokes I ever stole. Now, I don't steal jokes. I don't. No. Let's get that straight. I just find them before they're lost, that's all. But George, Irving, Bob, Dolores, you look beautiful. You, no, I want to, you look just like you did 50 years ago.
Sure.
Old. I'm kidding. I wrote something. I didn't steal it. I've put together some words, a little poem, to the tune of That's Entertainment, dedicated to you. You've had quite a hectic career. Every year brought a smile and a tear. I know you've enjoyed every place you'd appear for our entertainment. To you, every night was an opening night. To hand us a laugh was your one big delight, Bob. And I'm sure Irving Berlin was right when he said, there's no biz that ever compares to showbiz. Ah, those years, gee, how quickly they flew. every one so refreshingly new, though you've spent over 80 with all of us and you. We love you. That's all I can say.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Milton.
Milton Berle, thank you very much. Thank you. Back to the plot. Next, you get a call from right here, Hollywood, which is to make your first feature film, the big broadcast of 1938, which featured the song which became your signature tune.
Thanks for the memory of rainy afternoons, swingy Harlem tunes, motor trips and burning lips and burning toast and prunes. How lovely it was.
Two years later, you hit the tarmac for the first of 7 legendary road films with Bing Crosby.
Hit me, Poon, soon. Oh, if I find out this is fattening, I'll kill myself. You'd have to get a softer brush. You're bruising me.
Is this heaven?
Yeah, and I don't even remember dying.
You know, I feel like a contest winner, but it's a little wearing.
Another 2 or 3 hours of this, I may have to have my lips retreaded.
The master says they're ready upstairs.
If he thinks they're ready upstairs, he should be down here.
Bring him.
Bring what? What kind of a caper is this? Now, be careful now. Whoops. Please, don't drop any of the goodies.
Hey, where you going with the team?
I don't know, but if I'm not back in 2 or 3 hours, don't send help. I'll muddle through somehow. Oh, it's rough.
Promoting a road movie, you meet Tony Bennett.
Hi, Bob. This is Tony Bennett, and hello, Dolores. I just want to tell you that I'm just so thrilled that this is happening for you tonight because, well, everybody in the world knows no one deserves it more than you. You're not only a big guy, the biggest guy in show business, but you're the nicest guy in show business. So I'm just thrilled to be part of thanking you for everything you've done for me and for all the performers that you've helped along the way, and entertaining those great GIs all over the world in the United States Army and Navy. Thank you very much.
Now, Bob, when you and Dolores first came here to Los Angeles, you made many friends. Judy Garland, Fred Astaire, Jack Benny, and, of course, Al Jolson. And we're going to England now to hear from someone who's starring in a new musical based on Jolson's life. He's a young British comedian who worked with you at the Royal Albert Hall last year, and I know you hold him in some regard.
Where you banished the blues of the world with a gag and a song, oh yeah, with a gag and a song. Now I gotta tell you, you've given so much pleasure to people over the years, and to say a great big thank you, that's why we're here. So on behalf of all the folks in the world, keep rolling along, keep rolling along.
It's Brian Conley.
He's good, isn't he? Hi, Bob, Dolores. It's an honour and a privilege to be speaking to you both on this special evening. The first time we met was when you came to see me in the London production of Me and My Girl, and at the end of the show you came backstage and I'll never forget what you said. You told me that one day I would be a huge star. Well, I'm still waiting. Seriously though, I had a great time as your special guest on your UK tour, so thanks for the memories. Have a wonderful evening, and the next time you're in London, come and see Jolson. I might be able to fix you up with a good seat. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brian. Now let's get back on the road from Eltham to Hollywood. After World War II, while Dolores was busy with the children, you went on to make more than 50 films, including My Favorite Blonde, Fancy Pants, Casanova's Big Night, and the comedy classic The Paleface in 1948. Then in 1952, the sequel, Son of Paleface.
Well, I think you're the handsomest man in the world.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate your honesty. Well, now that I know how you feel about me, I want to relieve your mind and tell you that I'm not going to play hard to get. Before you know it, you'll be kissing me full on my soft, warm, red lips. Oh, how I'll envy her.
Well, she made the pale-face light up. Jane Russell.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You doll. Oh, a tribute to you.
Jane, you were in both those movies with Bob, weren't you?
Yes, we made Paleface and Son of Paleface. He was very easy to work with. He was, you know, la la da da da, and he always knew his lines and everything. There was never any anger on the set. Nobody ever lost their tempers or anything like that. But one particular day I will never forget. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon. The next scene, he could see that there was going to be a lot of lighting, and he says, well, I think I could get in 9 holes before this happens. And the next thing we knew, he was walking across the stage and out the door, and we were all in shock, just with our mouths hanging open. And the director, Norman, went, Bob, you come back here. And we just fell apart, and that was that. Oh, you were a love to work with, sweetheart.
Thank you, Thank
just
you.
go play us 9 holes of golf.
Thank you, Jane Russell. Now, in the late 40s, you start to take a keen interest in a fascinating and fairly new medium called television. One of television's comedy pioneers with his show of shows is a favourite of yours, Sid Caesar.
What a guy. There's the band. Yes, sir. It was great to see you. Yes, sir. Giving me more laughs than anybody, this man right here.
Well, at the moment, I think you have a message from Mr. Hope from the whole world.
Monsieur Bob Hope, qu'est-ce qu'il faut entendre la toyer, la fonte, prier la mon frère. Selon cendre et les filles dans l'entre les leçons yémen. Selon bâté et Charlemagne, l'autre prendre les samapien. Charlemagne réduit la fonte de la haha. Non, non, non.
Too much.
Franz von anderen Schleber ganz auf hier. Es gefallen sich andere von anderen Germany von anderen Schleber an. Der andere Arthur von Bismarck, und der andere wieder nicht kein Leben. Nicht kein Leben Arthur von Bismarck, wo der arme Bob Hope von anderen Schleber hat. Es gefallen sich andere Max Planck von der Heisenberg, von der andere und Einstein und Lily Marlene, wo der alle Schleber hat. Ma cosa fai lo tu più lo bella Bob Hope? Ma lo gira va chioso, ne mi la cosa, mette Leonardo da Vinci, bello qua. Due su, due Senegal. E do solo, non solo, di naga. Toyota Datsun, così fallo che non sono là. Sindai, Bob Hope, I love you.
Oh, you're wonderful. Wonderful. How about that? You're beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you, Sid. Someone who was a regular guest on your early TV shows is still singing for his supper. Tonight in Branson, Missouri, it's Andy Williams.
This picture means a great deal to me, Bob and Dolores. It was taken, of course, in my theater here in Branson, Missouri, the Moon River Theater. And I had just started, just opened the theater, and one night I was singing a song, and all of this great commotion happened. Everybody started clapping and screaming and yelling, and you and Dolores, Bob, walked out on stage and wished me well on the theater. You've always been that kind of a guy. I remember when I was, I don't know, about 16 years old, I sang in the vocal group on your radio show, sang the Pepsodent commercial. And then later on, when I had my own television series on NBC, and we needed a little boost in our ratings on a sweeps week, we'd call Bob Hope and ask him if he would come down and be on our show. And you always seem to do it. I love you for that. And Dolores, I remember Dolores from way back when I was a boy, and she was a young lady. And we both auditioned to sing for Lauren Bacall in her first movie. But a lot of memories, Bob and Dolores. I love you both very much.
Thank you, Andy Williams. Bob, your commitment to bringing a little light relief to battle zones around the world continues through the 50s in Korea and in Southeast Asia in the 60s. You choose your own strike command very well. And here tonight is one of your finest recruits, Janice Page.
Hello. I'm glad to see you.
Hi, Janice. How are you, dear?
You look beautiful.
Good to see you.
Janice, you were
good to
with
see
Bob
you.
in Korea in the early 60s, but you had a
And
transport problem.
Twice. We were in Japan, Korea, and then in Vietnam.
Remind him of this transport story.
Well, I don't think anybody told Bob about this, but we were headed for somewhere like Camp Casey in the wilds of Korea, and it was snowing, and it was extremely cold, and all the men were waiting for us, and there were two huge helicopters, and somehow the Bob and the whole troop got on one helicopter, and I ended up with 6 men and me on the other helicopter.
Congratulations.
Absolutely, I managed it. Didn't I work that out well, Bob? So we're flying along, and I had just been to the PX. Didn't we all go to the PX? And I just got my camera, and I got a beautiful camera, and it was my first real good camera. And I was shooting pictures out of the window of the airplane, and there was snow coming around. Somebody said to me, "What are you shooting?" I said, "I don't know. I just want to take some pictures." When suddenly there was a very severe bump, and the plane stopped, and I said, "Are we here?" And nobody said anything to me. And the door opened, and the snow was swirling around out there, and we were taken down this, God knows where we were, into this Quonset hut. And I said, "Are we here?" And they said, "Look, we crash landed. There was something wrong with the plane, but we're sending another plane." 2.5 hours later, we land, and we walk up, and everybody's in the mess hall eating. So I walked up, and I said to Bob, "Here I am." And he looked at me, and he said, "Where the hell have you been?" I want to tell you that none of you out there could possibly realize or know the thrill and emotions and joy and laughs that we get from Mr. Bob Hope. They may script funny things for him to say, but the wit, when he's ad-libbing, is a joy. And I'm glad that I was a part of it, and I love you. Love you, Dolores.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, honey.
And here's a member of your group the troops were also more than pleased to see, Carroll Baker.
How are you, dog?
Carroll,
it's lovely to see you. Sit down.
your visit to Vietnam with Bob in 1965 got some award-winning coverage.
Miss Carroll Baker, right here.
One of the greatest moments of my whole life happened when we were in Da Nang, that hellhole of Da Nang. And if you remember, it had been raining like 4 or 5 hours before we arrived there. And there were all those wonderful young guys and gals sitting in the rain, pouring rain, in the mud. And when our troop came on stage, they got up. They stood up and they applauded for us. And that was such a wonderful moment. I remember you had tears in your eyes, and so did I. The thing is, darling, that you have brought such joy, happiness, and laughter to the world for so many years, and I'm one of the people here to congratulate you and tell you how much I love you both.
Oh, you're done. Thank you, darling.
Thank you, Carroll Baker.
Thank you, sweet.
Bob, one of those shows in Vietnam was very nearly your last.
It would have been your last if I hadn't been late.
But he's on time tonight. It's your right-hand man, Barney McNulty.
How are you, Your Honor?
How are you?
Hi, Dolores.
Oh,
So
my
good.
God.
Now, Barney, you were in charge of his cue cards, so what happened?
Well, we had a pile of about 600 pounds at Benoit, and we were on our way to Tan Son Nhut in Saigon, And I told Mort Lockman, the writer-producer, and Jack Shea that the stand was going to collapse. And they didn't believe me. They said, we got to start the show right now. So we started, and the 600 pounds came down, swept everybody, Jack and Mort, out into the audience, and they got all out of order. Now I realized as soon as we finished that show that there was another show coming up, and I better put them back in order. So at the airport, waiting, when Bob didn't show immediately to take off, I started putting the cards back together. It takes time. You have to be very painstaking. You can't let it get out of whack. And I consumed about 15 minutes, getting the things together again when we left. And an interesting 15 minutes, because later on, there was a big explosion in Saigon, and later on the military captured a bunker, a Viet Cong bunker, translated the documents, and one of the documents said the reason that they didn't get the Hope Troop unloading in front of the hotel in Saigon was because of a 15-minute timing delay. So they were 15 minutes off, so they missed us. And I loved what you said.
Bonnie.
You always said, saved by the idiot cards.
True.
Once again.
Thank you.
Barney, thank you very much. Bob, between your travels around the world and your TV shows, you and Dolores always find time for a sport that you both love, which is golf. And here's a message from someone who's won your Desert Classic golf tournament in Palm Springs, Arnold Palmer.
Hi, Bob and Dolores. And this is your life. And I'm happy to be here to say to both of you, it must have been just a fantastic life. And certainly, I wish you both many, many more years of this great life that you are enjoying. And Bob, I can think of a lot of things that we've done together. When we played golf in Phoenix and won the Pro-Am in a snowstorm. Just one of those many occasions that happened in your life. And I will look forward to seeing you in the desert come January, if not before.
Thank you, Arnold Palmer. Well, now a word from someone whose early career you encouraged. Today's one of Britain's top stand-up comedians, Bob Monkhouse.
Hi, Michael, and greetings to you, Bob. You know, you've been my hero ever since 1939, when I was 10 years old, sitting in the Odeon Cinema, West Worthing, watching you in The Cat and the Canary. So it was the greatest thrill of my writing career, and that of my late partner, Dennis Goodwin, when you appointed us your official gag writers in the United Kingdom. 8 years later, Dennis joined your staff in America. I chose to remain here with the dream of becoming the next Bob Hope. Some chance. There'll only ever be one of you. Only ever, and I hope forever.
Thank you, Bob Monkhouse. And we're staying in London to hear from the man behind your first Royal Command performance, Lord Grey.
Hello, Bob. Hello, Dolores. It's great to see you. There is one event that always stays in my memory. I can never forget it and never will. It was on an occasion when it was the last night of your performance at the London Palladium. And Val Parnell and I decided to play some gags on you. I came on dancing with Marilyn Maxwell, and suddenly you stopped, pulled me forward, facing the audience, and he said, "This is Lou Grade. He's my agent, but he's also the world's champion Charleston dancer. Come on, Lou, do the Charleston." I said, "Bob, I will if you do it with me." And we would both dance the Charleston together. Bob, have a wonderful time.
Thank you, Lord Grey. Now, Dolores, with your new recording career launched at the age of 83, you paid tribute to treasured friends who persistently urged you to make that album.
Dolores, you're welcome at my house anytime at all.
It is Rosemary Clooney.
Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you happy
Hello, my darling. How'd you get here? Flew on a plane.
Sit down.
Good, thank you.
Sit down.
Rosemary, for the launch of,
Yes.
of Dolores' album, you held an all-girl party.
Yes, well, it was an all-girls singer party. And of course, Bob. I think you picked up the tab. It was wonderful because I've been a fan of yours as a singer for a very long time. And the first album was so lovely. And it was such a joy to have every singer that I was close to, from Linda Ronstadt to Kay Starr to, I can't even start, B. Arthur, who was a singer too, yes. We had a wonderful time.
Thank you,
How'd
darling.
you get here from Florida?
I flew, honey.
You're supposed to be in Florida.
No, I'm home now, so we can have dinner.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Rosemary, thank you very
Thank you.
Now, Bob, it's been said that if you had your life to live over again, you wouldn't have the time.
That's right.
You've been the friend of presidents since Roosevelt. You've played golf with most of them, and a former partner would like a word. President Gerald Ford.
Hello, Bob and Dolores. Betty and I are so pleased and honored that you are being recognized on British television. All Americans are very proud to call you our foremost entertainer, but we're equally glad to share you with the British because we know that you were born in England. I recall that in 1976, our bicentennial year, Her Majesty the Queen honored you with a CBE. You undoubtedly recall that President Kennedy gave to you America's most prestigious civilian award, the Congressional Gold Medal of Honor. And President Kennedy, in making that award, said you were America's foremost prized ambassador of goodwill. Say, by the way, how's your backswing and your game? I look forward to a little match on the links.
Thank you, President Ford.
Thank you.
Well, for many years now, Bob, you've been known as America's #1 soldier in grease paint.
Every soldier on the battlefield knew Bob Hope.
American commander in Vietnam and your old friend, General Westmoreland.
Well, what a surprise for both of us.
Yes, sir.
This fella here has done over the years more for the morale of the armed forces than any American that has ever lived. And he would not have. And he would not have lived up to those words except for Dolores. I saw Bob in North Africa in Casablanca. I saw Bob in Western Europe while the fighting was going on. He was the hero of the troops. And Bob, I've thanked you before, but this is an opportunity to thank you again.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you, I'll tell you that.
Bob and Dolores Hope, this is your life.